I slept with my former high school teacher. So I recently posted about sleeping with my former high school teacher and got a ton of opinions on whether it was weird or not. We went on an actual date yesterday and it went great. I think we both had a good time and we had plenty to talk about without any of it really being about back then when I was his student. I think that's a really positive sign. He said absolutely nothing about having any sort of interest in me back then, but I didn't expect him to. He was truly always professional as a teacher. Despite telling myself that I wouldn't sleep with him again right away and that I'd try to take things slower so that we could actually get to know each other, the current versions of each other, not the people we were years ago, the chemistry and physical attraction was too much for me to resist. I went back to his house and we had sex. It was amazing, like we've been sleeping together for ages and I'm totally comfortable with him and he knows exactly what I like. I very rarely click sexually with a guy. So quickly it takes a while for me to feel comfortable enough to really fully get into the sex and vocalize what I want and need, and for a man to understand what I enjoy. Not the case here. He even put me in my favorite positions without me saying a word, and I didn't even need my mini vibrator to get off like I typically do with partnered sex. I spent the night and we had sex again this morning, without any awkwardness afterwards. I can't stop thinking about it or about him. We grabbed coffee near my house and he walked me home since I live very close in this little neighborhood. His birthday is coming up this week and he was planning to go out with a group of friends. He's invited me along. He warned me one of the people is a former teacher from the school I attended, but I never had this teacher and I don't think he'd recognize me at all, even if I still looked exactly the same as when I graduated. I decided to bite the bullet and just ask him if he thought it was weird at all, based on how we originally met each other. He said it's a little weird if he thinks about it, but he said he probably wouldn't have even recognized me if I hadn't told him who I was. He remembered me when I told him who I was, but he doesn't really see me as the same person. He asked me if I thought it was weird, and I told him not really, but I think other people might think that it is. He said he's past the point of really caring what others think. I sort of regretted bringing it up because I don't think he was really focused on whether it was weird or not, and I don't think he was really thinking about the past at all. Now I worry I put the idea in his mind that this is weird and he's going to no longer be interested. Now, reflecting on it, I think he's telling the truth when he says he doesn't look at me and think of the person I was as his student. I actually think it's me who still sees him as my teacher. He's changed much less than I have, which makes sense since I was a teenager and he was already a full-grown adult. He looks nearly the same as he did 8 years ago, so I look at him and I do see the same person. In my head, I still refer to him as Mr. XYZ. It feels weird for me to call him by his first name or to see him listed in my phone by his first name. So now I'm realizing maybe this is more of a me problem. It really started to dawn on me after we had sex last night. I wasn't thinking of him as my former teacher at all when we were actually in the act, but afterwards I went to the bathroom and my immediate internal reaction was OMG, I just effed Mr. XYZ. And who knew Mr. XYZ could F like that? Then I realized, oh crap, I'm thinking of him as my teacher. Either way, I want and plan to see him again and go out with him this week. I just can't see it lasting long term if I can't eventually get used to his first name at the very least.